あ、これバムですね。わかる。ファン？いや別にファンではない。面白い面白い。バムの試合面白い。まあ階級が合えば、バムが上げてきて、タイミングが合えば、もちろんそれは興味はあります。でも自分はバムの試合は好きですよ。
I know a lot of people want to rush you. They want to talk about the Inoue fight. They want you to look past your opponents and things of that nature. But how you prepare for this upcoming fight?
Just stay mentally locked in. Mentally, physically, giving my 100% each day in the gym. So I make sure to come out here Saturday night and put on the show.
And how many weight classes you think by the end of your career, if you could draw it out, how many weight classes you think you could go?
Definitely 126.
126? You trying to be a full 5 division world champion?
Yes, sir.
That's what I'm talking about, man.
How many pound for pound fighters has Inoue beat?
No, we're talking about the lower divisions,
answer the
man.
question,
we're talking about the lower divisions.
Answer the question.
Probably
none.
Zero.
Not even in the top 10, Barack.
So what?
But Barack, you know.
I know.
I've been saying
but
it.
let's not fast forward though.
No, I want to
What makes sense right now?
I want to see ahead. Can I see ahead? Can I peek like this?
Go ahead.
And see ahead. I want to see Inoue versus Bam Rodriguez. I know they're not the same weight class.
Would it be fair right now? You can't ask them to come down.
You can when it's a big fight, when it's a big money fight.
Inoue and Bam and are different when you put your eyes on them.
Nice.
The reason people wanted to see Pacquiao and Mayweather fight, well, they both demoed Hatton and Cotto, right?
Right.
But it was also when you watched them, you were watching something that was different than everyone else in the sport.
Stood apart.
Yes.
Bam is one of those guys, and if not for the fact that he's short with a short reach, I would take him against the monster. However, the fact is he is short with a short reach, and the monster is a lot. What do we all think about this?
He still has to prove himself at 118 pounds and 122 pounds before we can say, okay, maybe he can't.
Inoue's manager came out and we spoke about it earlier in the week that Turkey Al-Sheikh the $13 million for a fight, and y'all was talking these fights at 26, and I said my boy Bam going.
You did.
And Eddie Hearn has now came out publicly and he's saying that is a fight he wants for Bam and that he's gonna speak to His Excellency.
The big one for me would probably be Inoue against Bam Rodriguez. That's top. That's the one I want to watch.
Yeah. That's a boxing IQ at its
That's
peak.
like Pacquiao and Mayweather. Like if they would have fought in their prime, you get me? They never did. It was not in the prime. They could still make the fight happen, but it was not in the prime. Right now, Inoue against Bam Rodriguez, brother. Man, I'll pay top dollar. I'll fly to Japan, wherever. I want to watch that fight.
And you know the beautiful thing about that fight is I think we still haven't seen the best of Bam.
There is a special moment in a fighter's career when he realizes he has almost conquered everything in his division. It is not loud or emotional, but a quiet and chilling confidence. It comes when a fighter stands in the middle of a massive arena like the Tokyo Dome, surrounded by more than 55,000 screaming fans, and deep inside he knows that there is almost no one left across multiple weight classes who can truly challenge him. For a long time, Naoya Inoue has been that kind of fighter. He is called a monster in boxing, a man who feels more like a final boss in a video game than a normal human being. His dominance has made many believe his division is already finished. But then, a new name started to rise and change the conversation completely. Jesse Bam Rodriguez didn't come quietly or respectfully. He stepped in boldly and challenged the entire idea of Inoue's dominance. What began as confidence and callouts has now turned into a worldwide discussion. And for the first time in a long time, Inoue didn't stay silent. He responded directly, and that response shocked the entire boxing world.
Lastly, Naoya, there's a lot of talk, of course, of you fighting Bam Rodriguez in what might be the biggest fight in boxing history under featherweight. What are your thoughts on a fight with Bam?
それはもうタイミング次第です。ね。
The entire energy around boxing changed after Inoue's dominant performance against Junto Nakatani. Before that fight, many fans believed Nakatani might be the fighter who could finally test Inoue. He was seen as tall, skilled, and capable of solving the puzzle that Inoue presents in every fight. People thought this could be the moment where Inoue finally shows weakness. But instead, what happened was something completely different. Inoue delivered a performance of complete control, timing, and precision. He didn't just win the fight, he broke down a world-class champion in a way that made it look easy, almost like a sparring session instead of a a real fight. By the end of the match, the message was clear to everyone watching. Inoue was operating at a level where there were very few real challenges left for him. At that point, many fans started asking the same question again and again: is there anyone left who can actually push him to his limits? And just when that question was at its peak, whispers of a young legend killer from San Antonio started spreading across the boxing world.
So this past weekend, right, we had the Naoya Inoue beat Nakatani by unanimous decision. What are your thoughts on that fight and Inoue's performance?
I like Inoue's performance. I feel like it was a great fight. You know, they both showed high level in there. You know, great chess match, and I like Inoue's performance. He bit down. You know, I feel like Inoue got a lot of the first couple rounds early. He came out strong, is sharper. Nakatani started, you know, getting his groove a little bit towards the end, but overall, Inoue was the more dominant one. I like the performance for sure.
Do you feel like Nakatani started too late? Like after the first 6 rounds, it was like, you know, posturing, feigning. They really weren't committing. Yeah. And I think after 6 rounds, you probably Inoue up like 4-2, 5-1, and then 7 through 10, it seemed like Nakatani was picking it up, but then Inoue closed. Is that the way you saw it as well?
Yeah, I did. Nakatani started getting his groove as soon as he was. Then, yeah, like you said, at the later rounds, Inoue stepped on that gas. So, you know, but shout out to Inoue for sure. That was a good win.
Now, a lot of people, one of my main man, Robert Garcia, right? I was with him, and his phone started like going off the hook. Everyone's calling him. They're talking about, yo, Bam Inoue next. Like, Turkey wants it like in January or February, I'm hearing. What are your thoughts on Bam Inoue?
Bam, one of my favorite fighters right now. He real sharp, very skillful. You know, got good power. I like to see that fight. Inoue's a little bigger than him, right?
Yeah, we'll see. Inoue's at 122, Bam at 115. So Bam's gonna fight at 118 next month against Antonio Vargas for the WBA 118 title. Yeah. And they want to go straight at Inoue for the next 122.
Shit. I mean, that's not a bad decision. I feel like Bam, and that 115 is small, but I think out of camp he walk around a little heavier though. So
yeah,
he'll be straight. You know, it's nothing too crazy.
You think it might benefit him moving up?
Possibly, yeah. He might feel stronger. You know, he already got a good power, so he might even have more. You know, without that big weight cut as much. So
Jesse Rodriguez, known as Bam, has built his entire reputation on doing what most fighters avoid. While many young boxers are carefully managed, matched with easy opponents, and slowly built up, Bam has taken a completely different path. He actively looks for the toughest fights possible. He doesn't wait for opportunities, he creates them by chasing big names and dangerous opponents. Because of this fearless approach, his trainer Robert Garcia and many experts have started calling him a legend slayer. It is not just a nickname, it reflects his mindset inside the ring. Bam believes in testing himself against the best even when the odds are against him, and that is exactly why his name has now entered the same conversation as the most feared fighter in boxing today.
I'm sure you read all the press clippings, the big elephant in the room. You and Naoya Inoue, you have a big fight coming up. He has a very big fight coming up early next month. You want to go back down, obviously, to fulfill Undisputed, but what would happen if that fight came on the table?
I'm ready whenever. You know, that fight's been brought up just as much as Chocolatito fight back then. So if that fight was presented to me right now, I'd definitely go ahead and take it.
I mean, I'm sure you'll be a very interested observer in the fight next month.
Yeah.
One of the bigger fights in Japan, I can't even remember since when. What do you make of that fight with him and Junto Nakatani?
I think it's a great fight. I think whoever lands the first big punch definitely gonna put the other to sleep, but I mean, it's gonna be hard. I mean, that's a great fight. They're both pound for pound greats. They're both world champions, so I think this is the kind of fight that like whoever lands first is gonna win.
I mean, they were in action in separate fights in Riyadh last year. Nakatani was in really tough. Just squeaked by in that fight. Did you take anything away by watching those two? Did it change your perception of how the fight might play out after watching both of them in their last performances?
No, I mean, before those fights, I was favoring Inoue to win the fight. And then, like I said, those fights didn't change anything. Styles make fights. The guy Nakatani fought was non-stop pressure. I don't think Inoue has that same kind of style. So, like I said, styles make fights.
Do you think you and Inoue finally getting in there, that's a fight that will define this era in the lower weight classes?
I think so. I think me against Inoue would definitely be, if not one of the biggest